Alrighty guys, welcome back to Star Wars Review. Today I'm reviewing The Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 2, Ruins of War, which was directed by Nathaniel Villanueva and written by Gina Lucita Monreal, and it was released on January 4th, 2023, which was another okay episode. I said in my review for the first episode that it didn't feel like a premiere episode, I guess, and I'd still say, the same thing for this one, because, obviously this in the first episode are, really a two-part premiere. Just didn't have the big premiere feeling, I guess, but, I still like the first episode, enjoyed it. I'd say I definitely like this one more. I thought it had some great moments between Echo and Omega, and even Tech also. With Season 1, we didn't get a whole lot from Echo and Tech, where we got more from Hunter and Wrecker. This episode is already different. We're getting more from Tech and Echo in this one, so I enjoyed that, and also growing their relationship with Omega, which we really didn't get much of that at all in the first season, where Season 1 had a lot more with Omega's relationship with Hunter and Wrecker also. But this episode, it picks up right where the last one ended, with Tech, Echo, and Omega in that container while it's in the air. The thrusters haven't turned on yet, crashing down towards the surface. But, obviously the thrusters finally turn on and they can more safely crash, which we see Hunter and Wrecker finding a way out of the castle, which Hunter tells the others over comms to kind of find a place to hide, while him and Wrecker will head back to the Marauder to pick them up, which we see Tech, Echo, and Omega start to kind of leave the container, but, because it's already landed and whatnot, but it's landed on a cliff, and it starts to fall again down that cliff, and eventually stops in a crate inside of the container, lands and crushes Tech's leg, which Omega, asks Tech if he's okay, which he says, he's broke his femur, I think it was, so he's not okay, which I thought was a funny joke. But Echo climbs out of the container to see that they are now stuck on the side of the cliff. They land on a little bit of a cliff on the cliff, so they're kind of in the middle of the cliff. I didn't explain that very good, but hopefully what I'm going for. So they have to climb up the cliff with some rope and whatnot. But we see Wrecker and Hunter making their way through the ruins of the city on Sereno. And we see some gunships kind of fly over them and land to kind of form a perimeter, which Hunter figures out that they know that they've split up, so they'll be monitoring their comms. So it kind of tells Tech over to comms to do a Plan 00, which Omega asks what that is, which Tech just says it's for them to go radio silent. But while Tech is explaining that, Omega finds out that they're being watched, so they confront this old dude who was watching them named Romar Adel, which, they kind of ask him where the closest shelter is, which he says that he doesn't know, but Tech knows that, Romar has a place to stay because he reads heat signals on his, smarty pants pad thingy Tech has. So, Romar obviously is caught, so he takes him to his little hut house place thingy. So, Tech can rest a bit. But I guess this older dude, has lived on Sereno for a long time, since even before they were the Separatists and whatnot. Which I enjoyed him a good bit. I found him definitely interesting with being, a citizen of Sereno and kind of being one before everything with the Clone Wars as a Separatist and whatnot, and kind of getting that point of view, which I'll kind of go into more in a little bit. But I definitely liked his moments of Tech and whatnot, and Omega. I really liked him. Wish we did get more of him, but I thought what we got was still pretty good. But when they get to this the hut or whatever, Omega wants to go back and get some of the war chest, which Echo says that's too dangerous and whatnot. Which Romar, hearing this, kind of says that they're Bad Batch are no better than the Empire, if they go back for it and whatnot. and he says that the war chest is cursed, and that, obviously Dooku didn't just steal from outside worlds, but, from Sereno and people like Romar, which Omega suggests that they can get it and that he can have some of it, which, he says he doesn't want any of that. And then he heads down to his basement, which then Omega tries one more time to get Echo to go after the war chest, but Echo once again tells her too dangerous, and that her mission now is to look after the old man, which she heads down there, and, to look after him, I guess. But, her and Romar kind of talk. He gives her a toy, which she thinks it's treasure at first, but, is disappointed at it when Romar kind of tells her it's a toy. But, Romar tries to tell her that it's, supposed to make you happy and whatnot, which, it does the opposite. And, for Omega, it doesn't make her happy because she wants treasure. So, instead, Omega heads back upstairs where Echo and Tech are arguing about the war chest. And, Echo is saying that they're still doing nothing to fight the Empire, which he starts to leave, which Omega then realizes and asks him where he's going, which he says that he's just going to check for patrols. But then Romar comes up and upstairs with his data core, with which I guess has some Sereno information on it, which, Romar kind of shows his attack, and Tech is interested in it, thinking that it's a separatist archive, which Romar says that it isn't a separatist archive, but a Sereno archive, and he kind of, tells Tech that, they existed before the war, which, kind of gives Tech a different perspective on that and whatnot. But, Romar needs help opening it, and, Tech knows how to, so he agrees to do so. But I really like this moment, kind of giving Tech a different perspective on the people of Sereno, kind of showing them that they're not just separatists, the bad guys they were fighting for the last, 3 years. But during this, we see Omega looking at this rope cable thingy, which eventually Echo comes back as Tech gets the data core open, which Echo wonders where Omega is, which they then realize that she's gone, and Romar sees that his rope cable thingy is also gone. So Echo heads back to the war chest to get Omega, which Tech kind of slowly follows behind. But Echo gets there, but some clones have gone there also and have found them. So he has to kind of fight them a little bit, but he dives down into the container where Omega then reveals herself and that she's got a bunch of the treasure. But Echo tells her that, they need to go. But we see that Tech has caught up, and he starts taking out those clones. But all while that was going on, we see Hunter and Wrecker continuing their way through the ruins of the city, which Hunter comes up with a new plan. But they need explosives, which Wrecker doesn't have any. So they start looking for a tank, but they aren't finding any what are working. Which Wrecker then comes up with a new idea, which is just kind of take the cannon of the one and find a battery for it and just start using it to blast their way out. Which they find all that and they start blasting their way to the Marauder using the cannon, which they then board and then ask Tech for his location, which he's still under fire from those clones, but he gives them his coordinates. So they start heading there, but they're also getting chased by some ships, so they have to take those out. But we see Tech take those clones out and kind of falls to the ground. But Echo and Omega are climbing out, but Omega falls and loses the treasures, and she's kind of trying to collect them up, which Echo says that they don't need it and that she just needs to come with them, which Omega then tells Echo how she overheard him and Hunter on the Marauder saying that she knows they don't have a normal life because of her, and that treasure is what can get them that normal life. But Echo kind of convinces her that they just need to leave it, and that you just need to let it go. Which she then listens to him, and they start to climb out. But they have no rope anymore, which we see Romar find Tech and kind of help him up. But they then notice Echo and Omega need help and need some rope. But a gunship is coming after them, so Tech has to kind of take it out with the this turret some of the other clones were using, which he is able to take out the gunship. But then some other clones are coming after them, so he has to take them out. Which while that's going on, Romar helps Echo and Omega climb up, which then Hunter and Wrecker arrive in the Marauder to save them. But, as they're leaving, Romar gives Omega the toy back and, stays behind as the Marauder leaves. But, on the Marauder, then we see, Omega, and Echo kind of talking. Omega apologizes for losing the war chest, but, Echo says that they'll manage and that, no matter what, they made the right choice in, taking Omega and going with her, which, if they didn't make that choice, the outcome could have been a lot worse. They could be working with the Empire right now, or as Echo says, or worse. I'm assuming, meaning that they could be dead. But I thought it was a nice moment, kind of growing Echo and Omega's relationship together. But the episode ends with a scene with Admiral Rampart talking to the clone captain on Sereno, who's named Wilco, I think. But Wilco says that the war chest will be recovered, but Rampart is only there because Wilco's report said that Clone Force 99 was there, which Rampart believes them to be dead, because, I'm assuming Crosshair said he killed them on Kamino, or that they were dead. So Rampart believes, the Bad Batch to be dead, but Rampart says that, it can't be true that they're alive. And if they actually are, Tarkin, would probably not like that and kind of do some bad to Rampart. So Rampart tells Wilco that he has to remove the stuff about Clone Force 99, which we see Wilco refuse to do so. So Rampart kills him so that he can falsify the report himself. And, that's where the episode ends. So, like I said, I thought it was a, okay episode. I definitely really, really like the stuff with Echo and Omega. I like that, they're growing their relationship more. I also like the stuff with Ramar and Tech and whatnot. The final scene with Rampart was great too. It was a solid episode. I quite enjoyed it. Like with the first episode, I just didn't really feel like a big season premiere feel to it. This episode was still good, and the first episode I still thought was good too. I still really enjoyed them. I loved having the Bad Batch back and whatnot. But I don't know, just didn't feel season premiere to me. I don't know why, but still thought they were good episodes, and I'd probably say this episode I liked more than the first one. So yeah, but my grade, I'm gonna give it a B+. So yeah, but that's gonna be it for this one. I'll be doing a review of episode 3. I think it's called like the Solitary Clone or something like that. So you check that out next week. But I've been Star Wars, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Heist, and you can have a future.
Rumors are more and more clones have been questioning the Order.
Then they are traitors, like the Jedi.
You all gave up everything because of me.
We made the right choice, Omega. But there are others out there who